You're welcome today continuing watching Endian's video. I'm Alfredo Cousin, Sales Manager of Endian. We will talk today about our hotspot solution, but let me first introduce Endian. Endian started in 2003 with a small group of Linux enthusiastic people that love the security scenario. Today, with a worldwide presence, has several thousand of customers and more than 1,600,000 downloads of its community version. Endian started developing a software unified threat management solution and immediately, talking with several potential customers, realized that to integrate a hotspot solution was mandatory for the future of the solution itself. Indeed, 1 year later, Endian was the first UTM solution that developed an integrated hotspot platform that still today is recognized as one of the most flexible in the market. While continuing in the UTM development across the years, including hardware platforms integrating more and more functionalities, in 2011, Endian has been challenged by one of the perimeter solution customers to develop a security gateway solution dedicated to the industrial, today called Internet of Things and Machine to Machine. And just 1 year later, Endian has the first solution for the new market, a market that today has a forecast trend of growth close to 3 digits per year. In a scenario where the perimeter is more and more extended and the need of connecting multiple devices and systems and people, the UTM core technology is the base of any solution in Endian and allows to reach different markets, such as networking security or perimeter security, hotspot management, including bring your own device, secure remote connectivity, industrial Internet of Things security, or Industrial 4.0, granting the transmission of any data in a secure way. The concept of unify that is contained in the UTM acronym for Endian is reflected as well in the licensing. When you purchase a license of UTM, it includes all the security functionalities and the hotspot as well. As I mentioned before, today we will talk about hotspot last features, such as social login, multiple logins, and login without user accounts. I now leave to continue our product manager Christian Graffer, who will describe to you all the functionalities above listed. At the end of this session, you will be able to ask questions to one of our experts. So please, we invite you to wait until the end of this presentation and stay connected with Endian.
Hello and thank you for joining our webinar. My name is Christian Graffer and I'm working as product manager at Endian. Today I will show you some features of the Endian Hotspot. The Endian Hotspot is a very powerful tool with which you can manage and secure your wireless or guest networks. The module is very extensive and can be configured in many ways. Way too many to show them all today, so we will focus on a few of the latest additions and other interesting functionalities. First of all, we need to know who is in our guest or wireless networks, so therefore we need a user management. And in the Endian Hotspot, it is possible to create user accounts in many different ways. They can be created and modified manually by an administrator. Users can create their accounts automatically by using Smart Connect. The accounts can be imported from a hotel management software such as ASA J Connect. They can also be created by using the generic JSON API that is provided with Endian Hotspot, or they can be synchronized from external authentication servers such as a Radius server or Active Directory or any type of LDAP server. The latest addition has been another type of external authentication, which is the authentication through social networks such as Facebook or Google+, which is called the social login. This feature allows people to use their social network accounts to log into the Endian Hotspot. Once the user has been created, it is important to define how much traffic he will be able to generate or for how long he will be able to use the internet connection. This can be done by defining ticket rates accordingly. The tickets will then be assigned to the user account and can be time or traffic based, meaning they can contain 1 hour of serve time or 500 megabytes. They can be pre or post-paid, can have an expiration date, can be cyclic or normal, meaning that they can be, for example, 1 hour per day or just 1 hour flat, and they can be paid or not. Let's see how this is configured for the social login on the management interface. Here you can see the normal login interface. Now let's enable the social login functionality and see how it changes. For this, we need to go to the Hotspot administration interface, go to Settings, there to Social Login. Obviously, enable social login. We can enable both Google Plus and Facebook. We'll do so here. And we have to choose a default rate that is assigned to users that register through the social login functionality. In our case, I have just created one that is called free postpaid. And as you can imagine, this is a ticket rate that is free and is postpaid. You can see here price is 0 and the ticket is postpaid. Now let's see how the behavior changes on the portal. Let's refresh the page. And we can see that we have the social login buttons. Now, just for demonstration, I will show you how it works with Facebook. By clicking on login with Facebook, we will see that a regular Facebook login pop-up will appear and will tell you log in to use your Facebook account with Endian Hotspot. Now what we do here is we enter our Facebook credentials. My email address is already saved, so let's just enter the password. And log in. We see once the login has succeeded, we can start browsing. Let's open a page, for example, endian.com. And we see the page opens. Now, what does this look like on the administration interface now? If we reload the account page, we will see that we have the new account created from the Facebook login with my email address. That's it for the social login. That's all there is to do. Just 2 clicks in the settings menu right here. And that's all. Under certain circumstances, administrators don't want their users to have their own accounts. They basically just want to see the information they want to provide, and the user should just click on start browsing and that's it. Obviously, this is also possible with the Endian Hotspot, so let's see how this can be done. Once again, we go to the administration interface. Again, go to settings and go to the main portal settings, down to accounts. And here we see that we have a checkbox that says require user authentication. If this checkbox is ticked, the login interface looks like this. As you can see, we have the social login enabled here, or you can use the Hotspot account and log in with your username and password. Now, if we disable this checkbox, we still have accounts that are created in the background, just that the user is not aware of them and doesn't need to enter anything. So since we have accounts, we also need to assign a ticket to that account. And once again, we can choose which one we want to assign. In this case, I'm choosing once again the free postpaid ticket. Then after we changed the setting here, we just can save. Changes have been applied. then let's go back, refresh the page here and see how it changes. As you can see, there is no more login form. So you just can click on Start Browsing and you're ready to go. Once again, if you open a web page now, it will open just normally. Let's go to google.com, which will redirect to google.it, but everything is working. So how does this now end up in the Accounts tab? Since the MAC address identifies the device, the next time the device is being connected to the hotspot, it will be logged in automatically. So clicking Start Browsing once is everything that needs to be done. However, in this case, you might want your users to accept the terms of service that you set before. So let's see how we do this. Again, we go to Settings, go down, see Require User Authentication is still unchecked. But here we do have another option that says Require users to accept the terms of service on login. So let's check this one and save. Now we only have the problem that the machine we're using is already registered, so we need to disconnect the user here. Yes, we want to close the connection and remove the account here. Yes, account has been removed. So now if we go back here and open the portal, we will see that we're not logged in anymore. So let's click on Start Browsing again and see how the behavior changes. As you can see now, the first thing that is presented are the terms of service. And if you don't, I accept the terms of service, you will not be able to go on. Let's click here. Now we're logged in and we can open any web page once again. Let's go to google.com and it is working. Another functionality that is often required is the possibility to customize the captive portal. This is actually already integrated into the Endian Hotspot, and it can be done in a few different ways. The first way and easiest way would be to modify the templates that are integrated, which can be the welcome text, it can be the terms of service, a help page, and you can modify them by doing whatever you want. You can include images, you can modify the text, you can add videos, and so on. Another and more powerful way is to modify the background homepage that you can select and add videos or every content you can think of there and show that content basically to everybody who is logging into the hotspot. Being it on the homepage as well as on the templates, you can always include links to allowed websites, which are the so-called walled garden. These websites can be accessed without the user being logged in, but only those websites. They're basically inside the walled garden. Everything that is outside cannot be reached, so the users cannot connect to anything else on the internet, but they can connect to those sites. So if you put links to these sites on your background homepage or in your texts, this gives you an excellent opportunity to show your guests some local information like local news, weather forecasts, also travel information, basically anything you like. Now, this being said, let's see how we can configure and customize the portal and how we can use the walled garden links on our website. As always, let's go to the administration interface and there go to the Set tab. Now, as we can see here, find a portal background homepage. I have prepared one in this case, which is called portal.hot.spot/index.html, and we find the for garden here. I prepared some links on the homepage, so I'm going to put those links or the URLs to those links in here. Endian.com. So we have the Endian homepage, an Italian news page, a link to CNN, and an information page of South Tyrol, which is basically for tourist information. So I'm adding that here as well. Now I'm going to the settings here. Now if we go to the portal, we see what it looked like. And now refresh the page, we will see that the background changes. Now we see the background page that I created. So if we close the login form here, we have some kind of information about the hotspot, but we also do the links to our sites. Websites here are endian.com, Rai News, IT, Italian News link, but still we cannot access links outside of this defined walled garden with those four websites. Let's try, for example, yahoo.com, and we will see that the portal reappears because this page is blocked and is not in the walled garden. So far so good, but how can we use this to show some commercials or anything else that we want the user to see? The first step would be to integrate, implement something in the homepage. Here's another one, just here. We'll just save this new page and we will changes once we refresh. So as you can see in the background, there is a promotional, which is nice, but it's actually hidden. So we need to do something else here in order to show this to everybody who connects to the hotspot without having to close the login window. So what we can do there, to the settings page, we see that we have another option here which says show login form immediately. Now change that. Manually means that the user will have to click on the link to open the login form. But what we want to do is we want to show it after a certain amount of time. So let's define it, say after 20 seconds, which is fine for us. So let's go down. Now, let's go here and refresh this page. We see page 20 seconds. Now the promotional video is shown. Nothing is blocking the view. And we just wait for the login to pop up after the video has finished. There we go. That's it. Now that we've seen what we can do with the portal background homepage, let's have a look at what we can do with the templates and how we can modify the login form. First of all, I'm going to put this back to immediately so we can see the results of what we're doing without the 20 seconds delay. To modify the templates, we have to go to settings and then choose language. And here we see that we have a list of all our templates. We have one template for every language that has been enabled here. So in my case, I'll go to English and we see the welcome page template here. We can modify this however we like. For example, dear attendee, thank you for participating in this webinar in which we treated the following points. So as you can see, we have what you see is what you get editor, so we can just put whatever markup we want in here. What have we been treating? We've been treating the social login, portal customization, we also have multiple logins, and we have the userless portal. Now this is just the normal stuff, so if we modify this here, let's store this. The next time we open the portal, we will see that just the text will change here. So this is it. But we do have lots of other things that we can do. So if we go back to the configuration here, we see that we have the help link in which we find a nice description of how we can modify the templates, which variables we can use, how we can upload files that we want to show, how we can modify style sheets, and so on, in order to be able to completely modify the look and feel of the login form. In my case, the first thing that I want to do is upload an image and show this image on the login form. We have to click on the image button here, then here go to browse server. We will see that there is nothing here, so go images, you see an empty folder, then go to browse here, and we have document Endian Hotspot customization. Let's use this one here. This is actually a rather big image. Still, the upload doesn't take too long. Now, once we have it up there, just choose it here. Let's use a custom width. 1024 is a bit too large. Here we can just put hotspot as text and save it with OK. So what we can do is I want this to be aligned in the center. So let's just click here. And just some final text. This is it here. Now let's store this one. And once again, the portal will change and we will have the new image here, and it looks much nicer like this. Now, it is important to know that all the images, all the files that we're uploading here will also be stored in the backups, so changes won't be lost if we for some reason have to reinstall the machine. We just have to pick the backup and we're good. Now what I want to do now is I want to completely change the look and feel of the login form, or not completely, just show you how you can do that by uploading a custom style sheet, a custom CSS file. We can use the same dialog here. Just browse server here once more. Make sure not to go in the images folder, but stay in the root folder here. Browse, then choose the file that we want. For this file, it is important that it is called portalcustom.css. This is also described in the documentation. This file will then be used and can override the global style sheet. So we just want to upload this one. I can show you the content here. This is a very small modification. We just modify the footer to show a custom image that we need to upload as well. So let's upload this file. Okay. And as we said, we need to upload the user files or the main footer dash footer main footer.png to the images folder as well. So browse once more, main footer, open, upload, and this is it. We can just close this window, can close this one as well. Now we don't actually need to do anything with the files that we just uploaded inside this template. The important thing is just that we use the editor to upload those files. So we don't even need to store anything because the files are already there. So let's go back to the portal, and if we refresh the page, we will see that the footer will change. Here you see that we have a new footer image that will show the brought to you by Endian webinars text, and this is exactly the file that we have here. So this is actually how easy it is to modify how the login form is shown, because if you can change the footer, you can also change everything else. You can change the look and feel of the header. You can change the look and feel of the right column here with the registration form. So you can do everything you want as long as you can write it down in a style sheet. And yeah, there's not just the login or the welcome page, but you can also modify the terms of service, for example, or all the other templates. The terms of service, as you have seen before, um, are written here. And basically, that's all there is to do. With just a few mouse clicks and a few texts to write, you can easily modify the entire look and feel of the portal. You can change the background homepage. You can change the login form itself. So there are plenty of options, and I think everybody should be able to modify the login form to his needs. With bring your own device being one of the major topics right now, and employees bringing more and more devices into their company, such as laptops, smartphones, tablets, their own ebook readers, or perhaps even smartwatches, it is important to note that in Endian Hotspot, everything can be secured by the UTM functionality because the hotspot is already integrated into the UTM product. But it is also important to note that the users don't want to have multiple accounts for every single device. So they want to have one account for all those devices. And we need to see how we can set that up in the Endian hotspot. Again, we go to the main settings and we scroll down to the account section where we find one option that says allow multiple simultaneous logins. We need to enable this checkbox here. Keep in mind that the accounting may not work very well if used with prepaid tickets, so we should choose postpaid tickets for our user in this case. Now let's save the settings here. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to our Windows machine and see if we can log in. I just created a user that is called user, and we'll try to log in with that one. Okay, you see I am now connected, and I'm opening another page. See, yahoo.com is opening, so the user is definitely logged in. Now, what I'm doing now is I go to another machine. This time it is a Linux machine. I have the same login form here and I'm using the same credentials. So again, user and user login here, and the login works as well. So also here, if we go to yahoo.com, we see that the page is opening and we're logged in twice with the same user account. So this obviously cannot be done just from personal computers, being it Windows or Linux, but you can also do this from smartphones, tablets, or any other connected device. So this is it from my side for today. Thank you once more for joining. Goodbye.